Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden 2005. We are here back in week 5, going up against the Indianapolis Colts, an AFC team titan that probably doesn't need a ton of introduction, I wouldn't imagine, yeah, especially around this time here. This is like the prime Peyton Manning era in which the Colts were really, really freaking good, with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. They somehow also had Edgerrin James and then like stumbled their way out of that into like Joseph Adai and other running backs, and just remained good for like the better part of a decade, and then added Peyton, stumbled into Andrew Luck. So the Colts really kind of enjoying a bit of a I guess a renaissance from all the terrible years with Baltimore and so on and so forth. And there are about a year, I think the next season, the 05-06 season, is when they would win their Super Bowl against the Bears, if I'm not mistaken. But they're coming, in this game, they're coming off of an AFC Championship loss to the Patriots. And the Patriots would, of course, go to the Super Bowl. And in the year that this game takes place, the Colts would again go back to the playoffs and do this and that. But in this game, they are off to a pretty bad start at 1-3. So things have already gone pretty bad for Indianapolis in their early season. And we are sitting at 500 at 2-2, and so this game kind of has maybe some important conference implications. We might be seeing this game kind of come into play late in the season at the wildcard standings. Who knows? But just for reference, I'm going to edit out a lot of this video because there's a lot of points. So just bear with me here as we get through this. It's still a long video, and I edited out a lot of plays. So I just try to include the big plays, the chunk plays, and like the setup plays and scoring plays. I don't really include the scoring drives. That's typically how I do it, but for this one, because there's way too much scoring, I had to omit that. Just like on this play, when we get the first bit of scoring, as Peyton Manning manages to hit Reggie Wayne in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game, and it's going to go to the Indianapolis Colts. And yeah, just an easy pass there. Phil Buchanan once again getting lost. We've had issues with Buchanan in the past a couple weeks here, and already he's kind of struggling here. But on offense now, Rich Gannon going to try and answer back here as he flips this one out to Jerry Porter, and Jerry Porter gets tackled inside the 5 at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Just about gets into the end zone. So first and goal, we're going to cut to Rich Gannon, drops back here, wants to throw for it, and decides he's going to run for it instead. And we've seen Rich Gannon use the legs in this season so far, and he's going to rely on the legs to get him into the end zone and cap off this drive this time. So the old man is running for it, and he's going to lay it up as well. So you'd like to see that athleticism. On a third and very long here for the Colts, Manning fires this one off, and it is caught by a tight end here, who was brought down by Woodson. And now, fast forward to a 3rd and 8 here, and Manning drops back again, floats this one to the end zone, and it is caught once again in double coverage. It is caught and just somehow is kept out of the end zone. I have no idea how that happened, but we saw a couple weird plays like that in the previous game with Buffalo. They had a few plays up against the goal line that somehow didn't count, but either way, on 1st and goal here in the very next play here, Manning is going to find Reggie Wayne in the back of the end zone once again for another Colts touchdown. So the first quarter comes to a close, but the Colts come right out after that break here and add some points. So Rich Gannon now fires one across the middle, and it is caught, I believe, by Porter again. It is Jerry Porter. So Jerry Porter's really kind of stepped up here and become a prominent figure of our offense, which is important because he's one of the pieces I would like to build around. We haven't seen much of Jerry Rice so far this year at all, and Tim Brown has also been a pretty nice accessory here, but that's another Jerry, or actually Tim Brown, there he is, with another completion. So cut to a long situation here. Gannon moving around, shuffling in the pocket, fires this one off quick to Jerry Porter, who cannot haul it in. So that's going to be a 4th down now for the Raiders, and we're going to have to rely on Janikowski's leg here to at least cut the lead in half a little bit here. And the kick is good, so 10-14 is now the score here in Indy, as we don't fully answer back to Indy's touchdown here, but we do add some points. But Indy now with the football handed off to Edgerrin James, and he finds an open bit of room here, and he is off to the races, and nobody on our team has the speed to get to him, especially an old Rod Woodson. He is definitely not going to catch up to Edgerrin James in his prime. And it is a humongous run from scrimmage for Edgerrin James that's going to give Indy an even further lead here, extend it to 11 points. And yeah, dude, there's no shot there. No shot. Just clear open lane, nice running lane, and a ton of open room here. Physical Colts O-line, just clearing the space for Edgerrin James here. But we're going to answer back with some chunk plays of our own as Rich Gannon just floats this one up here to Chris Cole, who manages to haul this one in for a huge first down. And that's going to get us in Indy territory inside the 30. So Rich Gannon now drops back to pass here and fires one off quick to Tim Brown, who has a first down and gets brought down inside the 15. So, and there's Jerry Rice. He is around. He was injured to start the season, but only for like a week or so. And he just, I don't know, hasn't been involved. I guess with the sets that we use, the playbook that we use, he just doesn't get involved a lot. Between Chris Cole, Tim Brown, and Jerry Porter, he's kind of like the fourth guy there. I might have to go into the depth chart and move that around. Maybe switch Chris Cole out for Jerry Rice. See if we can get some more production in the passing game. But it's working well, as you see, with Tim Brown getting into the end zone to finally answer back to the Colts. 17-21, and so now continuing here with the ground game, and Rich Gannon with another huge deep ball here downfield, and that's going to be another first down. So with just 1 minute left now in the first half, we're going to call timeout, try to be conservative with the time here, and on 2nd and 2, Gannon flips one out quickly to Jerry Porter, who hauls it in and gets brought down at about the 1. I have no idea how he wasn't in the end zone turf, but quickly on the hurry up here on a 3rd and goal, Gannon going to drop back, hit as he throws, but he dips it off quick here, and it is caught in the end zone for a touchdown. And I have to look. I don't know who that was. Might have been. We don't have a backup fullback. I'm not entirely sure who that was, but could have been one of our running backs. But the Colts, they're not done with the chunk plays either, as Peyton Manning lays up a prayer of a ball, and Marvin Harrison somehow comes down with it at about the 10-yard line. So the Colts are going to try and rush up to the line of scrimmage here with time ticking away, and they're just going to have to blow a timeout here, and they're going to send Vanderjag out there to try for the field goal to try and tie this game up here at the end of the half. So the Colts were up 21-10 just a few minutes ago, early in the second quarter, and now they find themselves in a tie ball game at 24 apiece with just 6 seconds left. So this is what I'm saying, why I cut out so many plays, because this game is just back and forth. We've got 48 points in the first half alone, and believe me when I say there's going to be more. So, cut to a 3rd and 9 here early in the third quarter. Gannon's going to drop back, and it would not be a Rich Gannon ball game without at least one bad turnover, and there it is, folks. Rich Gannon throwing a bad pick, and Jerry Porter's kind of letting him hear it. Definitely letting him hear it. So, 2nd and 5 now for the Colts here in good field position, and Peyton Manning is able to dump this one off quickly here to an open receiver who's clobbered by Rod Woodson. It's Reggie Wayne who was clobbered by Rod Woodson. So fast forward to another 3rd down as our defense is really trying to stop the bleeding here off of Gannon's mistake, and Reggie Wayne makes the catch, but he fumbles the ball, and it's going to get picked up by Phillip Buchanan, and so we are going to get the possession back here. So Gannon giveth, and I guess doesn't really take it away, but we taketh away. But the Colts think that Reggie Wayne is down, so they're going to challenge the call here. Tony Dungy's going to challenge it, and I'll let you guys look at the clip here. It definitely does look like he was probably down. I think that elbow might have came down before the ball came out. We're going to get another look at it here, but I'm pretty sure it is a close call, but I definitely think that elbow might have come down first, and it looks like it might have. So I think this one is going to get reversed here. We're gonna give it to the ref here, and he's going to tell us if it is or if it is not reversed, and it is reversed. So the Colts are not only going to get the ball back, but they're going to get it back at our 11 or 12 yard line. So Manning on the very next play here fires it to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for another Colts touchdown, and their offense just cannot seem to be quelled at all. Our defense has zero answer for. It's not even necessarily Phillip Buchanan's fault either. Of course, Reggie Wayne has been feasting quite a lot in this game here, but we've been seeing it all over the field, just getting sprayed out. So on the ensuing kickoff here, Chris Cole with the return here finds some open space on the left side of the field up along the sideline, and he is off to the races. Does not have the speed to complete it, but he does get across the 40-yard line to get inside around the 35-yard line. So after a negative play here on 2nd and 15, Gannon's going to drop back here, takes a shot towards the end zone, and it is caught. I think that's Jerry Porter again. Yes, it is Jerry Porter in double coverage. Comes down with a huge moonshot from Rich Gannon to tie us up at 31 apiece. So now with the ball again, as the Colts offense has finally been slowed down somewhat here, and Gannon flips this one to Chris Cole across the middle for a first down. And so our offense is going to continue to move here. So 1st and 10 at about the Indy 31-yard line. Gannon drops back, hit as he throws, but gets it out here, and Tim Brown able to haul that one in at about the 18 or 19-yard line of of Indianapolis to continue our offensive drive. So we are moving here, but it's a third down here, 3rd and 14. We're moving the wrong direction. Gannon flips that one out to Porter, but that one is covered well by Indy's secondary. So we are going to have to send out Janikowski for yet another attempt at a field goal here. Points galore. There's no shortage of points. So a 38-yard attempt for Sebastian Janikowski. The kick is up, and it is good through the uprights, and he's happy about it. He's happy. He's got the beer gut already, and he's happy about it. So 34-31 is your score here late in the third quarter. The Colts have plenty of time to answer back here. Manning fires this one off quickly to the left side, and that's Reggie Wayne mossing Phillip Buchanan once again, who was hurt on this play. Now, I believe he would come back in the game a little bit later. It's not a serious injury that we can evaluate after the game here, but that is just something of note here. So late in the third quarter here on a 3rd and 2, Manning drops back. Pressure is on. He's hit as he throws, but the ball is caught here for another first down. And the Colts do have Dallas Clark around this time, but they don't seem to be using him. They seem to have a couple other tight ends that they've been rotating in and out. So the third quarter comes to a close. We are hanging on to this 3-point lead, but the Colts are for sure, at the very least, going to tie it here with the conclusion of this drive. So early in the fourth quarter here, 2nd and 10, Manning drops back here, fires it to the back of the end zone, and it is caught once again for another Colts touchdown. So it's kind of crazy to consider how back and forth this game is here. This is essentially a playoff game on its own, but these are just two meddling teams in the AFC right now as it stands in the first handful of games in the season. So it's kind of funny here. But Tim Brown with another huge completion, and both him and Jerry Porter have just been absolutely lighting things up in the secondary here. So Gannon drops back again, pocket collapsing, but he gets rid of it quickly here to Jerry Porter, who's going to fall forward into the end zone for another Raider touchdown. And Jerry Porter's just having himself an MVP caliber type day. You love to see it, and you especially love to see Gannon doing that as well, man. I was really worried that starting Gannon might kind of backfire on us. We might wish to play Kerry Collins, but it is really working out. But Manning here on 1st and 20 is going to dump this one off quickly here, and I think that's Marvin Harrison who's off to the races, about 10 yards removed from anyone even close to him, and he is off to the races for a Colts touchdown. So they answer right on back, man. It didn't even take that many plays, and they answer back. So they take the lead at 45-41. So we managed to stop the Colts here late in the fourth quarter as we gobble up Edgerrin James behind the line here. So the Colts are going to have to give us the ball back here, just under 2 minutes left to go, and we are basically going to be playing for the lead here, and maybe even the win if we can really play our cards right with the time. So Gannon fires downfield, and it is caught, and now off to the races is the tight end, Teo Johnson, and he gets into the end zone. We saw Teo Johnson a bunch last week, or in the last video, with Buffalo. And he finally gets his name called here, and it's one of the biggest plays of the game as he manages to give us the go-ahead touchdown on a huge 60-plus yard touchdown reception. But there's still plenty of time. That's way too much time on the clock for this Colts offense because they're going to do things just like that. And just like that, they are now just about maybe in field goal range, probably another 5 or 10 yards, and they could really safely probably go for it. But it's a 1st and 10, just under a minute left to go here inside the 40. Manning is hit as he throws, but he dumps it off, and it is completed, and a generous tackle animation of Edgerrin James is going to give them the first down. So Indy's going to continue moving with some tempo here as time is of the essence. Manning takes the snap here, floats one to the end zone, and that one is blocked by Charles Woodson as he makes a great defensive play here covering Marvin Harrison. So 39 seconds left to go here, and it is a 3rd and 10 for the Colts offense here at the Raider 26, it looks like. And Peyton Manning dumps this one off quickly here to the tight end, and he's jumping over guys, trying to shimmy off of some tackles here, but he is brought down, but not before getting a first down. So Indy's going to call a timeout here with just 30 seconds left to go. They really don't need, I mean, they can play for the win. It makes a lot of sense to play for the win, being at the 6-yard line. So they're going to start with a handoff here, and we got guys in the backfield immediately. Trayvon Smith gets into the backfield and is able to break that play up almost immediately. So the run seems to be not an option for Indy. So Manning's going to take a shot towards the corner of the end zone. I believe that's Charles Woodson. It is who's able to break that pass up again. So great defensive stop here at the goal line to force the game-tying field goal from Vanderjagt, and the kick is up. It's a chip shot. I hate the cinematic thing here, but it's a chip shot and it is good. So we are tied at 48 apiece, and folks, it looks like we're going to need another quarter to decide who's going to win this ball game for the 3rd straight game. This is what told me I definitely need to play with the sliders, because I clearly have them turned way too high up. So on the third down here early on the Colts' first drive, we were able to seize that play up here and kind of lock things up. And Edgerrin James has nowhere to go. And so we were able to get the ball here in overtime. But on our third down here, Gannon floats this one out here to Teo Johnson, who does catch it, but he's going to get brought down about a yard or two short of the marker. I think this was real life. You might go for it here, just try to win the game off of it. But we punted it off to Indy here. And they have another third down. And Manning floats this one out here, and it is caught by Reggie Wayne. Man, oh man. And there's Phil Buchanan, so he's back in the game here, just doing what he does best, giving up huge completions on his side of the field. So Indy now in field goal range here, really far field goal range. They would need a big completion to get into it, but it doesn't matter because they won. They won the game. They won the game. They won the game. Next play, after that huge first down, Peyton Manning takes a home run shot to Marvin Harrison, and just like that, back-to-back games that we have watched have all been won or decided off of a blown coverage, just getting blown out, or mossed rather, left in the dust here on Charles Woodson's side. So Charles Woodson gives up the 2 game-winning completions in back-to-back games that we have watched. Really, really crushing stuff. Just crushing stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to go mess with the sliders after this game, see if we can get a little bit more modest scores. I know the high-scoring games is a ton of fun, but 588 passing yards for the Colts, which is, of course, I think a single-game record, not just for the Colts, but for Peyton Manning as well. Ironically, I think the passing record that still holds today is Peyton Manning's 472 yards, which would happen Halloween of this season. So I think in probably a couple weeks from now, or maybe a week after this game, is when Peyton Manning would set the single-season record for the Colts, or the all-time single-game record for the Colts. And this is definitely a record for Rich Gannon as well. I think before this, it's 403 in 2002 for Rich Gannon, so we broke that record for him. He also has the 1 rushing touchdown. We couldn't run the football at all. Another issue. So definitely something to consider as we move ahead towards the trade deadline, because remember, Tyrone Wheatley is a person that we look to move, and in all the splash screens before the game starts, where it shows the rankings on the loading screen, we're 32nd in rushing yards. So I don't know if keeping Tyrone Wheatley changes that or makes that better. So that might be an obvious move to make. Charles Woodson's going to be a little bit more difficult of a decision to make, but we're going to do all that in the next video, as well as cover this Broncos game, and they are winless. So hope to see you guys when we play some division games here against the Denver Broncos and cover the trade deadline.